Hey guys, Solacespecs here. So I'm making this video and I realized I already made it once and I realized that my microphone was not turned on, and so I recorded this video and was like, I'm an idiot because there was no volume to it. So I'm making this again and I'm going to run through some things that I talked about that I originally wanted to tell you guys. And the point of this video is how to make money. And I get a lot of questions about, how do you make money in Path of Exile? How do you get currency? How do you develop your wealth to be able to be the rich players in the game? And especially, how do you do this on a hardcore league? Now, the reason I love hardcore is because it's not full of tons of items. It just seems to work a bit better. The economy is a little bit healthier when you play the game. But there are really three main ways that you can make money in this game. And all three of them, you would be wise to be someone who you use all three of them to expand your wealth and make a lot of money. Now, the first thing you may be thinking is, okay, Solacespecs, you have no money in your stash. How can you make a video about how to make money when you have no money? And you're right, I have no money. There are really sets of different currencies in this game. You have transmutations, you have scrolls, you have alterations, chromatics, jewelers, fusings, and then you have alchemies and chaos orbs. And in terms of value, I guess you could say it goes this way. Jewelers and chromatics, maybe it's debatable on what the worth of those two are compared to each other, but really the top three are fusings and alchemies, which are equal, then chaos orbs, and then what I don't have are exalted orbs, divine orbs, and eternal orbs, which I won't really talk about. What you can know is the fusings and the alchemies are sort of the mid-range currency. Chaos orbs are mid to high range currency, and this is what most people are going to trade with. When it comes to decent and average items, most people are going to trade in chaos. They're going to say, hey, I want 2 chaos for that, I want 4 chaos for that. For a good item, they may say, hey, I want 10 chaos for that. And so this is what gets traded most often. You also have what I don't have here. Right above this is the exalted orb, which is saved for the best items in the game. People will say, hey, I'll trade you 5 exalts, I'll trade you 10 exalts, I'll trade you 3 exalts. And what you can know is that if an item is worth 10 exalts, it's essentially an in-game item, best in the game. And just so you can know, 1 exalt is about 20 to 24 chaos orbs. So you'll notice, man, you got no exalt orbs, and you're right. And I used to have a ton of money. I had about 11 exalts, and I spent it all on this two-hand axe, which is one of the best in the game so far from what's been found. And so I thought it'd be a good investment. It helps me clear maps pretty easily as a solo player. And the way I made those 11 exalts was I had sold a helmet called Nightmare Bassinet, which was worth 10, and I also had sold a bow, which was worth 2. Then I spent the rest of it just on random items. So there are really 3 ways to make that kind of money. And the first one is just exactly what I just talked about. The first way you make money in this game is, very simply, you need to just play the game. Now, that sounds very obvious to many of you, and you're thinking, okay, I do play the game. I don't find any items. And really, what you need to understand is you will find items if you play the game at a high level. Currently, I'm level 84. And about every 3 to 5 hours, I find an item that is pretty amazing. I found that helm that I had right here, which I sold for 10 exalts. Just last night, I found this shield, just doing a random map, a 67 map called Sewer. I found this shield called the Entropy Rock Colossal Tower Shield, and this is the first item I want to show you guys today. It has 60 to life, 12 all resist, 32 lightning resistance. Just with the life and resistance, this is a very good item. I know this is already going to sell for several chaos because it has what you can consider as 2 of the most important stats, life and resist, especially in a hardcore league. But then I noticed a third thing on it, and that is the 2100 armor. That is amazing. Most armor you see on shields, they vary quite a bit. In the lowest, you'll see around 150. The highest I had seen before this was about 1,000. So to see 2,100, I mean, I was just blown away by the shield. I knew right away this is worth something. And I got this item just by finding it. I just found it just off a drop. You have to be careful with items you find because especially if you don't know the value of them, people are idiots, and they're not going to know the value of it either. So I put this in the trade chat, the Reddit trade chat, which is trade5055. I said, hey guys, found the shield, what's it worth? And right off the bat, this one guy said, hey, it's worth 3 chaos. I'm thinking there's no way, it has to be worth more. So about 10 minutes go by, I posted again, hey guys, just want to get a second opinion, what's this shield worth? This time I had 6 or 7 people all saying, oh yeah, that's worthless, the block on it's only 24%, it's not very good, you'll sell it for 5 chaos tops, hey, I'll buy it from you right now for 6 chaos. You know, people again and again just saying it's worthless. Well, again, I knew it had to be worth more. So I took this shield, put it on the forums last night, and within 15 minutes of posting it, I had someone offer me 15 chaos, which was about 3 times as much as I was told the worth. And this, again, this isn't within 15 minutes. So I'm thinking, wow, that's great. So I let this sit overnight, and this morning I checked the forum posts, and it's already up to 3 exalts, which again, exalts are saved for the best items in the game. You know, 10 exalt will go to the best item, 5 will go to a close to the best, really good item. 3 to 4 are all very incredible items that are going to hold you to the very end of the game. So this morning it was already up to 3 exalts, and that's within 12 hours of finding it. So the point I'm making here is that you just have to play the game long enough to find items to sell. And even if you don't know the value of an item, you will begin to learn the item's value because you will have vendored so much crap through playing the game. I mean, there's so much stuff that I vendor that when I finally find something that's worth a value, I finally know, okay, this has to be good because I've just vendored 200 rares that were garbage. And that's not to say you won't vendor some good items on accident. I've done that. But, you know, again, my first point, just play the game. You will find items, even if you think, I won't, I'm not good enough, whatever. Trust me, once you get into your 60s, your 70s, especially your 80s, just play the game. You will find good items to sell and expand your currency that will let you buy some great items. My second tip for you guys is, as you begin to learn the value of these items, you have to be a little brave here and take a chance to flip items. This two-hander right here, the physical damage on it with the modifiers, which I know physical damage and attack speed are the 2 main modifiers on a two-hander. The damage on this two-hander is already easily a top two-hander. You know, if you check PoE Explorer or PoE XYZ, whatever, these items like this, if it was a sword or an axe, it would go for 8 exalts, maybe even 10 exalts. Probably closer to 8, maybe even 6 because it's only a 4-link. Well, because it's a staff, people don't really use staffs. They don't use, or excuse me, staves. They like to use their axes and swords because there's some passive skill points that apply to those weapons. So somebody was selling this item for an exalt, and I looked at the damage and I was like, that's amazing. I really feel like I can sell that for more than an exalt. So I contacted this guy. This guy didn't want to sell it. Finally, we got up to 2 exalts, which really sucked. But I said, okay, for 2 exalts, I'll buy it right now. So I bought this for 2 exalts. And you may be thinking, how could you just spend 2 exalts on an item you won't use? And that's because I think that I can flip it for a profit. I think I can. So I've been putting this staff up for a couple weeks. And I got this guy, I'm sure he's going to ask about the shield, actually. People always start with, hi, how's it going? You know, it's always kind of awkward. Anyway, I've been putting the staff up, and so far it's up to 3 exalts. If I can sell it for 4, I just doubled my investment. I don't think I can sell it for 4, but I'm definitely going to try. Even at 3, 1 exalt is a great profit. So the second thing you have to be able to do, let's go ahead and close this trade chat, it's distracting. The second thing you have to be able to do is you have to sell. I'm just summarizing here. You have to sell items that you've bought at a cheaper price and try to flip them. Okay? And again, the way you learn that is just by playing the game. You learn the stats, yada yada yada. In fact, here's an example of an item I did not do a good job of flipping. This bow I bought for 8 chaos. I've been trying to sell it for more, around 15 chaos, and I haven't been able to at all. And so finally, if this guy will sell it for 10.5, at least I've got my money back and made a 2 chaos profit. I'm trying to do something different because I don't really want blessed orbs. Anyway, so I'm trying to make my money back at this point and maybe just a little bit over. So this is an example of a bad item I flipped. I thought I could. I really couldn't. The third thing you have to be able to do to make money in this game is anyway, the third thing you have to be able to do in this game to make money is this is kind of the opposite of what I've just been saying the last 2 times. You can't spend your currency. And man, I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to tell you guys this video, but this guy's trying to make a deal with me. 6 sols, that is 8. There, at least I've made my investment back. Anyway, you can't spend your money. And what I mean by that is I'm not necessarily talking about spending money to buy great items or yada yada yada. What I'm talking about is you can't spend it on items you have and blow all your currency. For example, many people will try to they'll get a chaos orb, they'll say, okay, you know what, I don't really like these stats, let me just blow these chaos orbs on my item. That's a problem. And the reason it's a problem is because the fact is, guys, you need your currency. And often we think if I just spend this currency here, if I spend my jeweler's orbs, maybe I can 6-slot my item. Well, in many cases, you'll spend more jeweler's orbs than the item itself was even worth. What's always better, 9 times out of 10, don't spend your currency to make an item. Instead, just buy the item. And I won't really go into long detail on that. You just have to trust me. 9 times out of 10, it's always better. Just buy the item directly instead of trying to use your currency to make it. You know, this axe here was 10 exalts, but to make it with the 6 slots and the 5 link and these specific stats, I guarantee you, I promise you, it would have been closer to 30 exalts, just because the odds of you making those items are so slim. So just to wrap things up, guys, and summarize, first point, man, just play the game. You'll find some great items. Second point, try to flip items if you can. You know, right here I'm about to make a trade where I'll be just slightly ahead of what I invested. It was a bad flip, but at least I didn't lose money on it. And the third thing is don't blow your currency on trying to craft items. Anyway, guys, I hope that's been informative. Definitely message me in game if you need any help or have any questions. Good luck making some money, and I will talk to you guys later.